Hi everybody, my name is Rachel Bauman and this is River Bauman, and we're the founders of Whyld River. If this is your first time to our crowdfunding page, welcome and thank you for checking us out. I'm making this video to walk you guys through our first crowdfunding campaign and our first product, which is our dog sleeping bag, nicknamed the DoggyBag. It's a little difficult to describe on the website, so I just wanted to create a quick video to kind of show you the product. It's a little warm out here, so River's probably not going to get into it, but he does love it. We've used it on the trail and it's really worked well for us, so I wanted to bring it to life because I'm hoping it'll work well for you and your adventure dog. So without further ado, I have the product right over here. Forgot which side I put it on. So as I mentioned, it comes in two pieces. I'm going to back up a little bit so you can see them. This one is the bottom piece. Now it comes in 3 sizes. This one is the medium size. We may be changing the sizes. This is a crowdfunding campaign, so we're going to be talking with our customers and kind of going back and forth, seeing kind of what works best for your pup. Ideally, what you're going to want for backpacking is the smallest size that works well and that your dog is comfortable in. So for River, if we increase the sizes, we might actually go down to a small for backpacking, but a medium might be nicer for camping or for travel when they kind of want to sprawl out. So this one is our medium. I'm going to bring it a little closer here so you can see it. So it's made of a ripstop lightweight nylon, and then on the back here there is a pad sleeve. We're going to get rid of this elastic because I'm not sure it serves a functional purpose. But this is in order to increase the cushioning on this pad. So if you chose to bring this pad alone, you definitely can. It's about maybe a ½ an inch thick of polyester insulation when not compressed. This one is not as compressible because we didn't want it to compress too much under your dog's body weight. It's still very lightweight and packable. So it is cushiony, but it's more of a lightweight cushion because we made it kind of specifically for backpacking. We don't have a backpacking pad for it yet, but this pad sleeve does fit any backpacking pad that's 20 inches wide up to 1 inch thick. So I have right here the pad that we recommend, which is a Thermarest Z Sole Light. And this works really well. You can actually cut it down to your dog's dimensions, and you can just use this for a little extra cushioning and for protection from ground chill. So that's really nice. So it gives it a little more cushioning. Now, again, this has a quilted pattern on it, whereas the quilt piece has box baffling. So what that means is we actually have mesh in between each of the baffles. What this does is allows more warm air to get trapped in the quilt and keeps your dog warmer. So this is made of pretty high quality synthetic insulation. It feels like a nice down sleeping bag, to be honest, but it's really, you can see it's really nice and fluffy. We wanted to keep a lot of thickness and warmth in here, so we're still trying to find the best mix. This is one of the most expensive parts of the bag, so we're trying to make it as comfortable and cushioning as possible while still making sure it's compressible, lightweight, and not too expensive. We didn't want to make a $200 product, so we wanted to bring this in at a price point that would be reasonable for people. So we thought $89 was a good place to start. So this can be used on its own as well, as I demonstrated around the campfire with my dog River, or it can be used with the pad. So there's snaps all the way around it and one in the middle. So if the snaps are facing down and connected to the pad like this, sometimes, like when we're traveling and I don't have a lot of time, I'll just go ahead and actually connect just a couple snaps just to kind of keep them together. It doesn't really take long. You know, so when we're traveling in the car or we're at an Airbnb, this makes for a nice cushioning place for my dog to land. Make sure he doesn't want to like get in the bed when that's not allowed. So that's one way you can use the doggy sleeping bag. Now, to actually use it as a sleeping bag, you're going to flip it over so that all of the snaps are on top. I'm going to bring this up close to demonstrate. So This is not easy to demonstrate, but the snaps are on top of the bag. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take this bottom pad, and the dog usually is laying on the pad at this time, and you're just gonna snap it up and over. So that makes a nice seal for your pup, keeps all the warm air in, so if you're backpacking or camping somewhere that's cold, it'll make a nice seal. So I'm just snapping this up to kind of demonstrate, and also to demonstrate this middle snap here. So what that's for is we heard from some dog owners that their dogs don't like their heads covered. So this snap in the middle, when you have it done up like a sleeping bag as it is here, you can go ahead and do this middle snap so your dog can have their head out and kind of be hanging out with you and not feeling trapped in the bag. This was really made for my rescue pup River, who gets rather nervous, and I didn't want to zip something up around him. I really wanted him to have the ability to just break free if he ever got nervous, or to feel like he's really cozy but also free to move around. I don't know if I have pictures of, but I did actually make it into a wearable sleeping bag around the camp, which was not the most comfortable thing. It's not designed for that, but it definitely kept him warm around the campfire, so that was really cool. Just gonna pack this up real quick so I can show you guys the sizing. I brought out a water bottle so we can kind of compare. So each of these is gonna come with the pad, or as we refer to it as the pad, or I think on there it's called the bottom part, and the quilt, or the top part of the sleeping bag. It will also come with its own stuff sack. I think we're actually going to decrease the size of the stuff sack. So you can see that this quilt is really nice and airy. It allows a lot of warm air to get in, which will be great for your pup on cold nights. And as I'm packing it down, you can see it gets down nice and small. And if you used a compression sack, this piece would really compress pretty nicely for you. So even though it looks cushiony, it really does pack down really nicely. Now this one, again, we didn't want it to be as compressible underneath your dog, so it doesn't compress as much, but that being said, it is super lightweight, and together they pack up really nicely. This stuff sack is a little thicker than the one we'll be using. Forgot to mention our reflective logos to match up the snaps, but I will show you that in a second too. I'll just unpack. We have reflective logos on the stuff sack, so if you choose to use it in your pack, you can find it easily with a headlamp. There's also one on the bottom with the handle, so you can easily find and pull the bag out. Again, this compresses down super nicely, and if I can get it next to the water bottle, see this one's a little bit big width-wise, so we're going to try to change that in the next prototypes. But you can see it's like pretty comparable. It's really not that big considering all the warmth that we're giving for this nice pad and quilt. So I just wanted to show you real quick before I go the reflective logo. So again, if you're doing all this by headlamp, we thought that it would be a little difficult to see. So we created a reflective logo on both the quilt and the pad that you can snap together so that you can see in the dark by headlamp where to snap. Now, all of these will go together, so it really doesn't matter. We wanted to make it really modular to fit your dog and your dog's preferred sleeping position. So honestly, you could just snap it up every which way around your dog. My dog finds it super cozy just to use the quilt and kind of snuggle, so it's meant really for all your adventures and to be totally fitting your needs. Sorry for the quality of this video, it is in my backyard. But I did want to run through this real quick for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will support us and help us to launch Whyld River. Thank you everyone for your support, and I hope to see you on the trail. Bye.